Welcome to Two Colonels and a Bucket podcast. My name is William Bergman, and my co-host is Garrett.
How's it going, guys? My name is Garrett Daly, although you'll just see the Garrett there, man of mystery, of course. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be
and
fun. It's gonna be fun.
he is moving, folks. So the stuff in the background is not by choice. It is he is picking up and getting the hell out of
I am
L.A.
getting out of here, folks. As you can see, all this lovely stuff in the background. My soccer trophy from when I was 5. I can't live without it.
He's got his sock puppet out there, guys. So maybe if you're nice to him, he'll bring it out and dance.
That's the other podcast, Bill. That's for our other podcast.
So anyway, a little bit about us, real quick. We met on a show, right? That I was writing with, and you were performing. He's an actor. So yeah, so we're really excited to do this. I just saw a really good movie over the weekend, Garrett. I'm really excited to talk to you about it. Send Help.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I wanted to though. Sam Raimi. That just kind of crossed me. I didn't know about that at all.
Dude, it's absolutely better than I thought it was going to be. It's not really a horror film. It's more it's more like a thriller. It's a lot of comedy. I mean, a lot of comedy. But it works. And box office proved it. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so I give my stamp of approval. I don't like a lot of movies, and you know me.
Oh, I
I'm
know
really
that.
bitter. I'm a bitter old man
Oh,
when it
I
comes to
know.
movies.
You've talked shit about a lot of movies, Bill. I'm aware.
Oh, I can't wait to talk shit about the movies that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. I can't wait. I
Well,
have been building up for this moment.
but we've been talking about it forever, and you know what? He's an old timer, folks. Give him a break.
So you're gonna get two perspectives. We're gonna do a retrospects on a bunch of different stuff. We're gonna give you our takes on them. We're gonna tell you what we don't like about them, and it's gonna be two different perspectives. And mine being the better one of the younger generation. Now we call Gen X will always rule. Just remember that. Okay.
Mhm. So he
Oh, come
says,
on,
folks.
nothing
I
with the
mean,
Gen E.
so he says. I don't know what he defines as better.
Well, I mean, what's this Gen Z? I mean, come on, you guys are millennials,
Excuse
and
me,
come
millennial.
on.
Millennial.
Okay, that's right. Okay, I won't make you too old. But anyway, I'm looking forward to doing this with you. We are going to be doing a deep dive into the franchise that I can't believe I actually have to say that it is a franchise. A successful franchise. I just got a pain in my chest. Sorry, Garrett,
Oh,
but I did. This
a
hurts really
great,
bad.
successful franchise.
It is, and it shames and hurts me to say that, but yes, it has earned its way into horror history. Terrifier is one of those movies. When I first saw it, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" This would have gone down in history as like a video nasty of my time. Okay, with like Pieces, Cannibal Holocaust. It wouldn't have had its place among Freddy or Jason or any of those that we call icons. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not the fan for Terrifier, but I'll give you this. It is a huge movie that's done huge box office, and that got my attention. Um,
Terrifier, I feel like maybe most people I would guess is I've discovered it on Tubi, I think just that one
yeah.
image of him smiling on there, I feel like it's where a lot of people are like, I had no idea what this is. And then you watch it and you're like, okay, low budget horror movie, let's give it a try. And then you're just like, wow, that really surprised me about how much I was entertained by that. And then a couple years later, Terrifier 2 comes out, and I feel like, that just exploded the franchise, took it and made everybody just fall in love with this character. And it's great because it pays. I know you say those splatters of your time, but I feel like if Terrifier had come out in the 80s, again, it would have been a classic like Freddy and Jason and all the other ones.
You know what? Let me back up. You got a point there. Okay, not many when it comes to Terrifier. If it did come out on that time, it probably would have been a hit, only because it was so over the top. It would have been a cult classic, but it also would have been a video nasty. We went to horror nights, Halloween horror nights, and the Terrifier house was amazing. It was,
It
and
was
I'll give it
great. It
that.
was great.
It was absolutely Universal knows how to do it. So if you've never been, go.
You gotta
It
go,
was
folks.
absolute. Yeah, it was amazing. The issue I have with it, and let's start from the beginning because okay, so you saw it on Tubi as well as you kept telling me watch this movie, and I saw it on I saw the ad for it, and I'm like, nah. I just kept bypassing it. You pushed it on me. You really did. You pushed it on me like a cheap drug. You really did. You pushed that shit right into my face.
Well,
And
you should be happy I did. Now, this is coming from a guy, folks, who is very into horror 80s, the love of slashers, especially from 80s. And I'm like, dude, how have you not seen this movie? This is like a love letter to all those things you grew up with. You can't deny it, it
yeah,
isn't.
no, it is. So we'll start with how this all started, right? Hallows Eve came out. This was a short before it became Hallows Eve. It was a short, and then spoilers. By the way, guys, if you guys have not seen any of these movies, stop now because we're going to talk all about them. So please stop and go watch it, and then watch this podcast. We'd appreciate it. It's ultra violent, man, no doubt about it. It started with Hallows Eve, which had a little bit of Art the Clown. It was not. It was not the same Art the Clown. It was not the same guy playing, not the same actor. It started with Hallows Eve, and Hallows Eve was kind of like had a little bit of Art the Clown, right? Tell us a little bit about Hallows Eve because I never really saw the whole thing.
To be truth be told, I haven't seen the whole thing either. I've definitely seen pieces of it, mostly the art sections, which were, of course, the best pieces. There was one, the middle section about an alien, which, honest to God, if your first time watching it, you can just skip it. It's terrible. It has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. It's just horrible. But the third segment, which is the money right there, is definitely check that out. That to me, that was the beginnings and inklings of the art you're gonna know and love. Is that third section, which won't give too much away, but it's yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I think it was about these girl babysitting kids on Halloween. They play a
Mhm.
videotape, and it's got these short stories, and one of them is Art the Clown, which looks he looks way distinctively different in the poster for Hallows Eve than he does in Terrifier. So you can definitely tell it's a different actor. Um, Not as what I remember of what I saw of it, and I probably did the same thing you did, was just a little bit of art. Not as violent as Terrifier, right?
I mean, no, not as over the top because the budget, again, even as low as Terrifier was much, much lower than that.
Yeah, yeah, it was super like Terrifier was what was that? So Terrifier came out in
2016.
well, let's see, All Hallows Eve came out 2013,
Mhm.
and then Terrifier came out 2016, and then so the budget for All Hallows Eve, I think was what was it? It was like 500. Well, no, 500,000. Oh no, Terrifier one. Terrifier 2016 budget was $35,000 estimated. It grossed almost $422,000. So you can see why that dude wanted to make Terrifier 2.
Oh, yeah.
So Terrifier, so now that we're on Terrifier, so we established that it started from a short. Then they made All Hallows Eve. I'm sorry. Yeah. All Hallows Eve. And then it became Terrifier, right?
Yep.
So Terrifier had one of the most incredible scenes. Why don't you tell us about that scene? I know hopefully you're going to talk about the one
Oh,
that everybody gets
you mean the
crazy about.
scene that made it the movie that it is that everyone now goes to? He's been trying
And
to replicate in the sequels?
I agree.
Yes, it is the scene where he hangs a girl only in her underwear, upside down in front of her friend, and then just cuts her in half with a saw, and laughing the whole way, and they do not hold back, folks. It's
Well, I think it's very important to say that he doesn't cut her in half. He splits her right down the middle. I mean, folks, this is nasty.
like chopsticks, folks, just splits her that much.
So it's pretty funny to see how David Howard Thornton got the role as Art the Clown. It's pretty neat. When I was doing some research on this podcast, he do you know how he got the role?
And I know he
He
was
all
a
he,
mhm.
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say he had taken miming classes, if I'm pronouncing that right, miming? He
Yep,
was a
yep.
professional mimer, miming person who did miming, if that's the right way. Yeah, and he went and auditioned and used his skills there and pretended he was drinking blood and smiling and enjoying it for his audition, and the director just loved it so much, they were like, "That's the guy."
He was actually adding salt to it too to give it taste, which gives you that. He also, yeah, gives it that crazy, insane, over the top thing that Terrifier is known for, right? He's described the character as an evil Mr. Bean. That's pretty neat. If you think
It
about it,
shows,
you could see it, right?
it
You can see it.
absolutely is.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. Okay. So let's talk about weapons in Terrifier, right? Obviously, Freddy has the glove. Jason has the axe or machete or whatever he's going to grab. And then you got Art, who's walking around with a bag, a trash bag, like a Glad bag, full of hatchets, you know, saws, whatever, guns. How does it not rip on him, Garrett?
Demonic, spiritual, the strength to kill energy, or he probably just double bagged it is what I'm assuming.
Most of us guys do double bag it,
We
folks.
do,
Sorry.
folks, sorry.
No. I didn't even think about the spiritual part of that because sometimes, he sees things that aren't there. So we haven't really come to terms with what art is yet. Because let's face it, I don't think like the director didn't even know what to do with it. He was so concentrated on doing the effects and he did all the effects for like the first one and the second one, right? And they're amazing. I mean, you cannot say they're
Oh my
not.
god.
Yeah, start one. It's this it's so over the it's like you're watching Buster Keaton kill people, you know what I mean? Like Charlie Chaplin. I don't get it. Don't know if that sticks in my place as like Friday the 13th. It didn't have the music. And the director, even Damon Leone, even said that, that he wished he would have concentrated more on story and character development rather than just gore. And what do you think about that?
I think with only having the small budget that he did and the focus that he wanted to put, he knew where to put the money because he knew that's what was gonna get people excited. Because don't get me wrong, people do love a good story, and that he establishes even that more in the sequels is great, we can get later into, but he knew he had to make a pop. He knew he had to make this film, and he knew with his, because the dude's very also skilled in special effects makeup, has been, which will also be
100%.
noted, 100%. And he knew he wanted, like, this is gonna get the audience. This is what they need. This is where it's gonna get the attention. And thank God he did because he was 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely amazing what he did. The dude, started it with this little short, threw him in a movie that not many people saw, and then decided to make a whole franchise.
No, you're good.
Tell us about that. I think that's really interesting, and I think people will really get excited about that.
Well, I think you know what happened? It's funny because even though Bill Skarsgård version was so popular, and even the Tim Curry version, gotta give credit to, as popular as Pennywise is, and he still is with Welcome to Derry, that kinda boosts it. I really do think Art has become more popular than Pennywise, and I didn't think that was possible, but I've seen Halloween, more kids dress up as Art now. Universal did their Terrifier, there was no Pennywise. And I really never thought I would see Pennywise get dethroned and then become as iconic as Art has become now in the pop culture.
I You've said it. That
Yes.
I have to agree with that. I cannot argue with that point of view from a millennial. So no, yeah, I totally 100% agree. I think that someone to go from, it was such an iconic scary clown that everybody based Killer Clowns on, not the Killer Clown series because it's completely different, B-rated, but also a nice place in history is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But that's kind of like they weren't really killing people. They were killing people, but it was like bubblegumish, right?
Yeah.
Safe to say?
Kid-like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like kid like. I mean, like, cotton candy, balloon, stuff like that. But it was fun. Anyway, getting back to your point, I did not think that Pennywise could be taken off the throne and say that Art is gonna be our scary clown for the movie industry. And it's true. Even though you're right, the Welcome to Dairy show which got better as it went along, but art is definitely bigger than Pennywise.
I think what it also goes into, it is those practical effects. You because you add those into and with art personality, it just goes. I mean, Pennywise has had his scary moments for sure, but the CGI gets a bit much, and even in Welcome to Derry, it looked a bit kinda, at times,
Too,
and
yeah.
even in the movies, there were times where it looked but even in the show, you could just tell with the show budget, it looked kinda, it just
Yeah.
it takes you out of it a bit, because then it becomes a little too much. I don't know if you'd agree with if the
No, CGI has been used way too much.
oh,
I mean,
too
I think
much.
we both can agree on that. Way too much. Um, which brings you bring up a good point. Practical effects, which takes us to Terrifier 2. He did was, and let's talk about box office because it is amazing.
Oh, it
I'm
made
a
its money
screenwriter,
back,
so it the budget was 250,000, right?
right?
Gross worldwide 15, almost $16 million.
Oh my god.
That's a that's almost a yeah, that's about 3,900% return on investment.
Oh my
I
god,
mean,
man.
you know, it was originally planned as a limited theatrical release, and then you went to see it. I'm like, I have nothing to do with this movie. No, I've saw one. You talked me into that. I was like, no. And then tell us about it. Tell us about it, Garrett.
Tell us about you why I love that film, and if
Yeah,
I did
you
a
saw it
list,
twice in the theaters, right?
I saw it
Twice.
twice because I made me fall in love because he took what was already a really interesting character, not much story-wise, even the main protagonists were kinda a bit forgettable, gotta be honest, but he elevated everything. He gave the lore, he added a protagonist who, Lauren Laverne, I believe her name is. I don't know why I'm blanking on the character's name, who I think has become one of my favorite protagonists, probably since Sydney and Nancy. Like, they did everything. It made me love David Howard Thornton, the effects, the lore. I loved Terrifier 2.
Go- First of all,
Go for it.
as a writer, yeah, I don't get what you're saying as far as the protagonist like Nancy. I get it. I know what you're kind of saying, but they introduced like the dad as this artist who created this character, and she has angel wings, and and all this crazy shit. And I get it. He's trying to develop it more, and and add layer after layer after layer. My issue with it is you got Art the Clown no longer pulling out of his bag a blade. Now he's pulling out a gun, a Tommy gun, and blasting a whole set of people, including kids and all this stuff, at an ice cream stand or whatever the hell it was. I will say that the song is very in your head when you hear it, you know, uh, but man, I just thought it was all over the place.
I hear you, then I gotta disagree. Well, let's also point out the scene he's describing, folks, is a dream sequence when that little Tommy gun just magically appears in his hand.
Then what was the little girl? The little girl that he saw that was dressed up like him, which is the nastiest scene in the whole movie, I think.
Oh, you talking about the scene in the very beginning when he first meets her?
Yeah, and then like the laundromat when he's washing his clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gross, man.
I didn't say it wasn't gross, man, but again, it's also Terrifier. And as gross and weird as it was, it kinda worked.
Okay, so you just brought up something. What do you mean by that? It's also Terrifier. So are you saying that Terrifier, the reason it's so popular is because it's gross?
No, I
Not just the effects, not the effects. I agree with you. The effects are amazing, but the excrement and all this stuff, the vomit we see, that makes a Terrifier movie?
I think what makes Terrifier stand out compared to other horror films that are on the blood and gore is its expect the unexpected. Okay, this creepy you're in that scene, the creepy demon girl shows up, she shits on the floor or whatever the hell that was, that bile.
Man, that was nasty.
As nasty as it is, it's like you don't expect it. And I think it's like what you pointed out earlier about Art's, trash bag. I think what makes Art so great is that you don't know how he's gonna kill you. You know he's gonna kill you in the most vicious, horrible way imaginable, and I think that's what makes Terrifier and Art so interesting, because it's not like Saw where you can get an idea of what the trap is when you already know that person's gonna die. It's not as, like, thrilling, it's like when you already know what's going to happen. Where Art, has this girl upside down, you don't know what the hell he's gonna do to her. That's what makes Art so interesting and terrifying, is you don't know what's gonna happen to him the moment you're in the room with him. Like the comments, mine, is he gonna kill 10 people right next to you don't know. And I think that's what makes Terrifier, what it is.
Yeah, I could see your point. So the unexpected is Terrifier.
Yes.
Expect the unexpected.
Mhm.
And I've grown to actually like some of that when I watch a Terrifier. But I got to tell you, especially this last one, I felt like I had to go home and take a shower. I felt like I was watching something that I should not be watching. Right? It's just one of those things that are just, it's vile sometimes. But I agree with you. I think the unexpected is Terrifier. Obviously, it was the most profitable film of 2022. Hear that again, people. It was the most profitable movie of 2022. With that success,
Bill's favorite.
Terrifier 3.
Yep.
Okay, so Terrifier 3, let's start with budget. Budget at $2 million.
Alright.
Much huge step up. Uh, every studio courted him. William Morris agency courted him. And they basically said, you'll have to tone it down in order to do 3. This is where I kind of have to shake his hand. This is like a Rocky moment, right? How Sylvester Stallone said he's not making the movie unless I'm Rocky. I appreciate that. So he basically said, no, I'm going to do the movie I want, and balls to the wall. So budgeted at 2 million. The gross worldwide on it was almost $91 million. That's
That's
crazy.
incredible.
It is.
And let that also be a lesson, folks. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. You really
Yeah.
can. Just wanna throw that in there.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Damien, the director, did not do the effects. I do feel like he tried adding more character development. He continued the story of this fantasy angel from the part 2. They kind of built that up a little more. The effects were, let's talk about this. He holds on shots way too long. Like, if you think he's cutting somebody's head off, I'll give you an example. The chainsaw scene, right? I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I think that's what you said, the unexpected, right? My eyes can't stop seeing that. Dude, it was sick.
It
It was
was.
vile, it was sick. You Again, that's the Terrifier brand. So if you don't like it, don't watch it. I get it. I'll be the first to say that. Go ahead.
I would go back. I would say I feel like if folks, if you're on this train and you've made it to Terrifier 3 at this point, I feel like you're just should just be used to anything at this point. I mean, really, even though you're right, he does hold on to those shots, but it's like, was it really shocking that he held on to those shots as long as he did? But now at part 3, since you've gotten there, I mean, because
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
done that in the last 2 films. It's just what he chose to hold on to a shot to, and you're just like, "God."
well, he also chose to make Terrifier 3 around Christmas, which makes it even more like, because back in the day, Silent Night, Deadly Night came out, right? And everybody was crazed out about a killer Santa. And I thought it was stupid that people were protesting. It was dumb to me, right? Like, why are you protesting? Who cares? But he had an axe in his hand, right? Well, Terrifier 3 takes that movie and triple, thousands into what I've seen on screen. It was insane. Like the box office, and let's talk about box office again. Even though it from a 2 million budget to about almost $91 million it made. It had that weekend the movie Wild Robot came out, an animated flick. That movie saw a bump in ticket sales because kids were buying tickets for that and hustling their ass into Terrifier 3. I've done that. I could also appreciate
Who
that.
hasn't done that? Come
I
on.
do. I used to do it all the time. Let's talk about your favorite scene from part 3
Oh, my favorite scene
after
from
you've taken a shower a couple times.
Oh, after my 10th time? Let's see here.
10 times. How many times did you see that in the movies?
Oh, no, I only saw that one once, actually. And, it's funny because we were supposed to go and see it the week it came out, and mind you, I haven't been sick all year, and of course, folks, what do you think the 1 week is I actually get a cold and become bed sick is, of course, when Terrifier 3 comes out. And I was
It's
like,
perfect. It was a perfect
are you
storm.
fricking kidding me right now?" So, I
The
know that, eventually we did see it, and
I think the worst thing about it was I saw it before you, and that made me even more sick. I know you got even
that made
sicker
me
after
more
that.
sick. I was like, "Oh, damn it."
Yeah, I was appalled. Um, from one of the things about movies is it's taboo to show a kid getting killed on screen. That's like a no-no. But again, we're in the world of Damien Leone. He does what he wants. I think that's fun. Okay. So yeah, Terrifier took place at Christmas time, and you see him actually kill a bunch of children with a bomb, and that breaks taboo 10 million%. Again, Damon Leone's brand, right? That's the way Terrifier is. I get that. I can appreciate that. I don't have to watch it. I don't condone it, right? What do you think about that? What do you think about the ultra violence in it?
I
What do you
mean
really think of it? Seriously.
yeah, it is what I said, but I going back to what I said earlier, I feel like if you've already been on board the Terrifier train and now you've made it to part 3, I mean, if he blew up a nursery full of babies, would you really be shocked at this point? Which, hopefully, Damien, you're not watching this. Don't get any ideas. But I mean, yes, the violence is over the top, and but again, it's not shocking for this brand at this point. When he's already shown he's gonna go to levels that you're just not gonna expect.
Even the humor's dark as hell too. So there's one scene that I thought was incredibly creepy, disturbing, and it was very cool. And let's off the record. I am not a fan of, like I said before, I'm not a fan of Terrifier movies. I'm a fan of what he did and what he kind of like F you to the system. I'm going to make it anyway. I got to applaud that. Like I said, it's like that Rocky moment. If I can't do this, then I'm not giving you what, people want. The creepiest scene in the whole movie is the bathtub scene. To me, and when he's in the chair and he's rocking, he's got cobwebs and he's not moving. That's another creepy scene, right? That's like my go-to number 2 for that. So him in the rocking chair, just creeping. He's got cobwebs all over him, and he's just kind of emancipated, and he's like out of it, right? But the bathtub scene where that thing rises, that demon or whatever it was, dude, that gave me chills. And movies like this, like I'm so like numb when it comes to movies because nothing bothers me, right? That bothered me, and I gotta applaud him because that was good writing and good directing, and what we saw was generally the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. What do you think of those scenes?
I mean, it's followed by, I think, well, they're right next to each other. The scene where he gets out of the chair, which is one of my favorite kills in the movie, with the box cutter and just splitting that dude's skin in half, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah,
I
it was.
mean, it's gnarly, it's unexpected, but going back to what you said earlier about one of my favorite scenes, which has got to be the opening, because it encompassed horror, Christmas. I think he did it in a way, yeah, it involves kids, but he doesn't necessarily show it, but he doesn't have to. I think just being there and hearing it when he's chopping that kid up with an axe, and it's just like, oh, you're just hearing the bones crunch, and like, I don't need to see it. That's enough for me.
Yeah, it was way over the top. I mean, you got any notes that you want to talk about?
I mean,
After all this
if we're
bullshit.
sticking mostly to kills, I mean, I mentioned my favorite kill was the box cutter. We haven't got to which I know you talk about the chainsaw scene, and I know everyone focused on that in the trailer, and they knew because it could not save you for the gnarliest kill in the movie, which was I think the one at the very end with the rats.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it
that to me
was.
was just like, oh god, that one got under my skin. I was just like, oh, I don't already like rats anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, man. Let's see. I mean, let's talk about. You mentioned Saw earlier, right? When Saw came out, people were like, and also Hostel. Hostel. If you've never seen them, it's like torture porn, right? This has a little bit of torture porn at a high level, right? Um, what do you think about that?
I mean, to be fair, I've never really stood the phrase torture porn. I just think just say graphic, over the top, blood and guts movie. To me, like if
Yeah.
I was to say something as torture porn, which one film I saw, which I'll never see again, is Human Centipede, and that would to me that just felt like a sick fetish film of this director, whatever he was making. This wasn't entertainment. This was just like, what the hell is no, no, yeah,
No. Yeah, good point. Good point. I mean, nobody wants to compare the two together, right? I don't think that's a. I agree with that. Nobody really. The word torture porn never really made any sense to me either, right? Um, but I mean, there was like blue films where people were killed when they were having sex. So I guess they're. It's not like that. I agree with you.
yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about Terrifier 4, which is inevitably coming, right?
Oh, yep. October of
Um,
this year, baby.
is it coming in October?
I think it comes out the day before Halloween. He's doing it good this year for because supposedly it's the last film, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, before we start, it will not be the last film. We've learned that a million times when it comes to these franchises, and I can't believe I'm calling it a franchise, but I have to. It's earned its way as far as box office to become a franchise. And let's face it, any horror convention you go to nowadays, Art's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Jason, Freddy, Chucky, and all those other guys are everywhere. He's there.
He's
He's
always
made
gonna
that
be there. Jason takes notes when he's watching art and be like, "Oh, so I need to start doing more of that." I know Bill,
funny.
my friend Bill, loves that comment.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't like that too much. First of all, who would win in a fight then?
Oh, Bill,
Come
come
on.
on! Don't start a
I know
verse.
that's silly.
Don't
I know
start a
that.
verses right now.
No, 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 no. No, I know it's silly, and I know, everybody wants to know. Who do you think would win out of a fight between Jason and Art the Clown?
Well, since Art has now been given demonic powers, then he's pretty much unkillable. I'm I gotta slightly give it to my boy Art. I think because he's like Freddy. He's got the speed factor all there. He's got the tricks. You know, Jason's got his big machete and whatnot. But I mean, Art's
So
just like
it's so sad these people nowadays that don't know anything
I
about
know,
the
right? Isn't
old
these older
generation of horror
generations so
films.
sad that just they
It is
want to
so
complain and they
sad.
can't appreciate when
We
something
we grew up. We grew up on The Exorcist and The Shining being the scariest movies of all time, and they still are in my book. I don't care what anybody
Oh,
says.
hey, I will give you that. Okay, you grew up on the classics. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street in
Yeah,
theaters, dude, which is Freddy is my
yeah,
favorite slasher still of all time, killer.
yeah.
But yeah, I grew up
Um,
on 13 Ghosts, which hey, if you love that movie, powers to you. But come on, that's when
I
the
think there's still.
CGI
I think they're
generation of
doing a remake
crap.
of that. I heard there's going to be a remake of that.
Woo, woo.
Okay, so Terrifier 4, you said comes out in October, most likely, right? It's going to be a huge hit. They'll probably bump up the budget, probably another couple millions. Probably going to be about $4 or $5 million budget,
Yep.
because apparently this is going to. The word is on the street, if you want to believe it, is that it's going to take place in hell, right? Or have a thing of hell. It almost has to, right? Because he is not of this world. We've learned that he's a demon and he's nasty, he's mean, and all this stuff. So, with your Jason comment, I'd like to go back to that just for a second. I think Jason would crush him in about 2 seconds, but that's just me. He would take his little hat off and crush it into his skull. But that's just me. I'm a Jason fan. I will always be a Friday the 13th fan. I think just because of my era, right? So I don't think Art would have a chance in hell, pun intended, with Jason, right? Yeah, I just don't. I think you're completely wrong on that. So,
Yeah, it's okay.
all right. So terrifying. It's okay to be wrong.
You know what? Just got to go forward in the future and just realize that you can't change the past mistakes of things. It's just how it is.
That's true. But if you had a DeLorean, maybe.
Maybe, Bill. Someday.
So yeah, imagine Art and Jason in the DeLorean. Back in time. Well, there you go. There you go. There's the next movie, guys. Terrifier 5 goes to space. Anyway, so Terrifier 4 comes out in October, and they're talking about in hell. Let's at least hope we get the story wrapped up. Okay, so let's start from where it began. We have this guy that kills these young girls that are out on the street, like out for one night, kills a couple people in town. There's a news reporter that kind of is there who kind of gets maimed. She gets maimed, right? She gets really disfigured by him.
Yeah.
Then we have part 2, where we have this family that has a father that died who was this artist. He created this angelic character who the girl that Garrett was slobbering over earlier is like the main chick in it, like Nancy, right? Am I right?
Right. You were right.
And then you have this dorky little kid who's actually fun to watch to a certain extent. Yeah, he terrorizes that whole family. And then part 3, he it's Christmas time. See what I'm trying to get here is there really isn't a narrative. And the director himself even said that he was so working on the effects that he dismissed story and character. That's my problem. You know, with Friday the 13th, if we go back again and compare it, there's a story. We know Jason drowned. We know he came back. We know he saw his mom killed. And then he kills everybody. All right? With Art, you cannot tell me the story. It's choppy. It's choppy because we've got supernatural elements, and that kind of works because some of the shit he's doing, you need that to kind of fill in some of these gaps. But there really isn't a story.
Well, I mean, I would say that he realized, and that's what made part 2 is he started to finally realize he had the budget, he had the time, he could do a story now with the lore. And I mean, as far as much as he's given us as any director low budget could do, I think what he gave us so far was pretty true. I mean, you got the girl sister who's in denial, doesn't know anything about it. You have the nerdy little brother who's trying to convince her more about what's going on. You get a little bit of lore, not enough, which I kind of like, actually. I don't need to know Art's whole backstory. I like a little bit of mystery, and, whatever that gets wrapped up in part 4, whatever that is. I like
Okay,
it.
but
It keeps me more intrigued. And I think it keeps audiences intrigued too.
okay, so let's talk about that lore you just brought up.
Mhm.
She has this special sword in part two, right? It doesn't it go into like, aren't we getting out of the horror element and going into fantasy now?
Yeah, horror fantasy, if you want to call it
Horror
that.
fantasy. Okay. Um, so now it's like this horror fantasy. Now you've got this chick who's got these wings, and she's character that her dad created. She automatically becomes right. Isn't that right? She
Yeah, she
automatically
becomes.
becomes a character that her dad created. Maybe it's a way of keeping her dad's spirit alive, and she's embracing that artwork, and she's a cosplay person anyway, right? She's making costumes, so that makes sense. It just goes a little too fantasy to me, right? But if we're talking narrative, he is trying to create a lair, right? And still keep his over the top crazy kills in there and the unexpected art. Um, Part three, they kill the kid. The little boy's gone, right? Kills her brother. She's still alive, right? And she's trying to get over this thing that happened to her. And then it kills her friends, right?
Yep.
It just, to me, there just needs to be more story. It just seems very thin, right? Because he wants to concentrate on effects.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like he leaves you with enough to still keep you interested and you still want to know more. And especially if, 4 is the last one to see if all that buildup was for something. Who knows? We'll do another follow up at some time in the fall. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's like if you're going to compare it to like, you know, Freddy Krueger, like I said, you get pretty much all the whole background, the story, and everything. And next film is just another adventure or story or something. I don't know. I kind of like, for me, not knowing everything. I like kind of thinking about it. Even though it's like, yeah, the kills are still going to be the main focus because it is Terrifier. But the story and lore elements still keep you a little bit interested. Like, oh, where's he going to go with that? Ooh, what does that mean? There was still enough there. I feel like 3 answered questions, but still left the door open to give you. You still want to know more. He gave you a little bit, but he doesn't give you too much. I don't know. For me, I kind of like that.
So tell me more about, like, I know when she becomes this character that kind of like the warrior against art, right? Right, with the wings, the cosplay look that she has. They go to like a carnival, isn't it? Like an amusement place,
Abandoned
and
amusement
there's
park. Yeah,
abandoned amusement park. Isn't it like a gateway to hell down there or something?
probably that's. I feel like we're heading in
I
that
mean,
direction.
didn't they show like the ground coming up? I mean, we kind of got that feeling that that's where we're going, right?
Yep.
So if he is kind of like thinking ahead, there is some narrative there. I can agree with, because he's taking it and he's like, okay, I'm setting this up for part four. You know, um, yeah, but there was an amusement park in part two, not part three, right?
Yeah, that was more in part 2. Was the amusement park.
Yeah. So we've already seen like that hell place.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just thinking maybe part two and three that these demons are coming up from there, which is totally speculating, right? What do you think?
Oh no, I 100% because that's been one of my theories is that the gateway to hell is going to be in the carnival. I mean, it kind of already feel like they kind of alluded to that a little bit in part 2, not too much, but that is kind of the gateway is what I feel like it's going to be discovered. How she's going to go rescue the girl, get the sword back, finally kill Endart once and for all, something like that. I mean, I guess my final thoughts are again, I'm excited to see where it's going to go, what he's going to wrap up. At least him being involved with Terrifier, what Damien Leone's plans are to wrap it up. I think make me very excited and interested, and can't wait for Halloween to come.
So my final thoughts on Terrifier is amazing box office, amazing effects, and you're right. The little one in me, the little person in me when I was younger, probably would have dug it a lot. I don't know. I mean, I'm an old man now, so not really. Watch it.
Yeah.
Um, um, so yeah, I probably would have dug it if I was younger. I think, yeah, I'm gonna see part four. And I know I'm gonna have to come home and take another shower again. It's because it's part of this huge engine now, where if I don't see it, I feel left out, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. What's your favorite scene from all the movies?
From every
Number one.
one,
No, just yeah, you can do that. You can do that if you want. Go ahead.
I mean, I would say part one is like favorite scene. I mean, it's got to be the pizza scene where they're in the pizza parlor, the girls are sitting there, he's just messing with me, smiling at him, he's just staring at him, he's doing whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it was like, oh, that made me like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy this movie, whatever happens. And then with part two, I would say, oh man, there's so many scenes I love. There's so many scenes I love. I mean, the bedroom kill is probably as at the time I saw it, I thought it
Part
was
two, right?
that was part two. I thought that was a little too over the top, even for Terrifier standards.
Way too long.
Way too long, but I would have to say no. My favorite, no, I take that back. My favorite scene from part two is in the Halloween store, where again it's similar to the pizzeria scene.
Fun.
He's just messing with them. He's put on the glasses. He's just messing with them, having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, those are the fun. Those. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go.
those are
Finish it.
that's the the fun before the holy crap, what did I just watch moments, and that's what it's fun. That just makes Terrifier fun. That's why people love these movies.
So yeah, it's like let's to describe it as you fall off your bike. It's like, oh, it's the riding the bike. I'm having fun, and then you fall off your bike and you get a busted lip. It's like I wasn't expecting that, right? So is that what we're safe to say that the comedy is like like we're on a roller coaster. We're like before we
Yes.
get to the drop, right? Well, that's fun, and that's fun, and then it goes over the top, way over the top.
Well, yes, I would add to the equivalent. It's like the roller coaster. You're loving it. You're feeling. You're enjoying it. But then you throw up at the very end. And you're like, oh God, what was that?
Yeah, no, I get it. So what about part three? What is your favorite scene from part three?
I mean, again, I would say the opening was really good, and also the mall scene, because again, you don't expect it at the
That mall
scene.
scene is horrible.
That mall scene's horrible,
Terrible.
but it's just like,
It's
oh
terrible.
God.
It's
But the
terrible,
the
man.
opening, I think, just it did everything. It was Christmas horror. It's what you'd expect. Him dressed up as Santa Claus. It all fit, man. It fit with the scene. Two is still my favorite, but three had a lot of my favorite moments.
And let me tell you guys, before I met, after I met Garrett, we started talking. Like he's a big horror fan, like me, big movie fan, I should say. So we get along very well. And to hear him talk about Terrifier, like, he just got this huge steak, a nice baked potato, and he's hungry as hell. It's amazing because Garrett is nothing like this in real life. He's such a nice guy. But to hear him say that he likes his file stuff is just absolutely. If you know Garrett, like we all know Garrett, it's like, it's amazing. It's pretty funny. I'm like me. I'm an open book. I've got a hockey mask behind me. You kind of know where my world is, right? But with Garrett, he's clueless. Um, um, Scene Stealers for me, part one, the split down the middle, absolutely incredible. Terrifier 2 would be as much as I hate it, is when he takes out the Tommy gun and kills all the people. That was pretty funny. It was pretty good. Like, the clown cafe, the clown cafe. I mean, like
It's sketchy.
so it It is catchy. That's what's sad. Three, like I've already said before, is I guess the bathtub scene and then art with the cobwebs on them. I think they were incredibly creepy, well set up, well written. If there's anything that's well written about any of this franchise, that was really well visioned. If you were to recast the movie, right? So take David Howard Thornton out and say we need to put another actor in that role. Who would you put?
I mean, David did such a great job, but I mean, what the heck? I'd say Jim Carrey.
You know, I agree with that. I think Jim Carrey.
He's got the body language, all that. It's like, yeah,
Either that or Anthony Hopkins.
sure, why not? Let's get him in there for a cameo. He probably would do it.
He probably would, but he'd be like Hannibal Lecter in the corner.
It'd be better. He'd still shit himself like the little girl.
Oh, that's foul. Oh, okay. Jim Carrey. Obviously, if you look at the Grinch, of what he did with the Grinch, and just his face alone, under that makeup, it would be a completely different, obviously, killer. But that would be funny. That's funny that we both said the same thing. I think we talked about that before. So yeah. What else is going on before we wrap this up? What else is? You got anything you want to plug or talk about or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I guess there's always what could be the future for art. Say if Damien Lone sticks true, that 4 is his end with the franchise. You're right. The character is going to continue. That film is going to easily make $100 million. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Even if the studios are just not going to be like, oh, we don't want any more of that money. No, art will live on. Whether it's Damien Howard Thornton playing him for 10 more years or 20 or whoever else. Oh no, art's going to live on. I've always speculated, I'm sure, art versus Steven Seagal is going to probably, I think should happen. Because, like, why not at this point? Look, I love Steven Seagal's as movies, his earlier movies. They're stupid, over-the-top shit, but they're entertaining as hell. And at this point, why not?
But what about Uber Jason from Jason X against Art the Clown?
I doubt it, buddy. Uber Jason hasn't made an appearance since that film 20 years ago, and I don't think he's coming back.
It was, you got to admit that was a very cool mask. It was very cool. It was a terrible idea, like to put him in space. I agree with that. I hate that shit. It's like, Freddy's got a kid, the dream child, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to see all that.
Oh, it's anything. It's like Leprechaun. Space is the idea when you have no other ideas left to do. It's just space.
Yeah. So, okay, with that said, do you envision art in space?
No. And I would certainly hope not, no, because I just don't see, no. I mean, I'm not going to say it would be like a funny 2-minute clip, but no, a whole movie, no, I'm good.
But people said that about Jason X.
You know what? Hey, look, Jason X has its following. People love that movie, and yeah, it's entertaining. As dumb as it is entertaining.
Well, the funny thing about Jason X, and I'll get off my Jason kick, is the reason Jason X was made, and I read a book on it. Yeah, I can read.
What?
Was yeah, no, shocking. Was that they were trying to get Jason versus Freddy off the ground. So New Line had the rights to the character, and they thought they were going to lose him, and they decided to make Jason X. They wanted to keep that character in their wheelhouse. And then, the rest is history. Jason versus Freddy became, blah, blah, blah. So there is a key reason why they did it, even though as hokey as it sounds with Jason X and all that other horse shit. There's a reason why they did it. It's all business related, but there's a reason why they did it. But I agree with you. Any franchise that goes to space is pretty much done and in the can. I mean, you can look at a bunch of stuff. Hellraiser went to space. Leprechaun went to space.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised Leatherface or Chucky never went to space. So,
are you ready for Jason to go to the hood?
You know what? If they can ever get off their butts and get this thing rocking, it will be the best Jason you see next time.
It
The
will be.
problem is, so let's talk about that a little bit. That mask that they made for the new Jason universe is absolutely horrible, terrible. It doesn't match anything on the original Jason that people know and love as far as the mask. The chevron stripes were off. It had less. It had 13 holes, like they're trying to make a statement,
Uh,
right? Yeah, and it was. Did you see the that short?
I did, and I mean, I saw clips of the short. I mean, it was whatever. But again, my love for, and I like Jason, but my love for that franchise, we can agree upon, is not as strong as yours.
Yeah, but let's also agree that that short was trying to pull a Terrifier.
Oh,
See
totally,
where I'm going with
100%.
this? Yeah,
Oh
it was
yeah.
trying to pull, and Jason's not Terrifier.
Nope.
So they completely got the images wrong. They made them way too over the top. And that's something that art would do, but that's not something Jason would do. I can't even believe I'm comparing two people that don't even exist. But it's so true. As they exist in film, and people are loving Art the Clown. Like
Yeah.
people love that stuff. So I can appreciate that as far as the merchandising is crazy on it. It's just not my cup of tea, man. You know? So,
You know, that's okay, dude. You know what? You gave it its respect that it deserved, and at least you acknowledged it's what the things it's done well. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised when you said you didn't like it, because I'm like, it's such a love letter. It's practical effects. It's such that love letter for a newer generation. You know, they always say, let's make it for a newer generation. It's like, no, let's just take
yeah.
what made it special in that generation and just do it for this generation, and people will be like, oh, okay, I this is great. And I think it's making people love 80s slashers even more, because more people are going back and watching 80s slashers because of art. Oh, look it up. It's yep.
No. I'm not arguing with you. I think you're right.
And
That's what's good for my generation. It is people watching the view times on some of these movies again. Streaming's done that too. People were discovering stuff that I went to the theater 40 some years ago to watch it, right?
yeah.
So I like that. I like the fact that you get excited about horror movies. I mean, that's why we get along so well. You're like, how was that? How was Nightmare on Elm Street to see that in the movies? And it's really nice when you come up and ask me stuff like that, because it makes me like, this is exciting that, he's actually wanting to know how that felt, right? And I can't give that to you, but I feel like you're getting that with Terrifier. So I'm living vicariously through you how I felt watching the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So I think that's where we can agree with, there's a love letter for horror films for both of us. We started this because we just enjoy like bullshitting back and forth, right? I can appreciate your level of love for 80s horror.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But no, it's what he said, folks. Like, I know I was supposed to rewatch the film. I didn't at all and make notes. I was just remembering what was in my head, because I just remember about what I loved about it.
And that's why I didn't pass the history exam in 12th grade, folks. Everything.
Yep, you're talking to the guy who failed math, folks.
Yeah. So do you have anything else you want to say, or?
I mean, no, to close it out, again, I think, you know what, it's a messed up, over the top, crazy ass franchise. But I don't know. I wouldn't say, if you're gonna get into slashers, and I don't know how, maybe you'd feel the same way, I wouldn't start with Terrifier. I think you gotta go old school, you gotta go Nightmare, you gotta go, hell, even Scream, I guess, if you really want to go into the slasher territory. Maybe, I don't know, you feel differently about that?
No, I agree. You do need to ease into it, but I almost feel like, as a horror fan today, that people expect the Terrifier now, and to me that's not fun, right? I get it, the level of fun they're having out of it. But when you go and you watch an 80s slasher, and I know some of them don't hold up, I get that. But if you look at the original Elm Street and you compare it to Terrifier or Terrifier 2, there is no comparison which one's the better movie. There's just no comparison. The thought out process of the character Freddy Krueger, the whole mythology of that destroys Terrifier. Now, the mythology is starting to upplay in the recent movies for Terrifier, but he's got a long way to go if he wants to become a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, I would say
Agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I would also briefly say and mention, since you did bring up Friday and it's one, and since, they asked Damon Leone, like, what would you like to do next in the future? He's like, I'd love to do a Friday the 13th movie. And come on, dude. You cannot admit if it were to happen, he would make a badass Friday the 13th Jason movie.
I disagree. I disagree with what that Angry Orchard short did with Jason. Over the top does not work for Friday the 13th. Over the top kills work, but not when, that Angry Orchard, they had him placing the parts all over the place. Like, Jason doesn't have time to do that shit. He'll just, like, you're in a sleeping bag, he'll take the sleeping bag and smack it against a tree. That's the fun of Jason. And I'm a big believer, especially as I write more and more screenplays. Less is more.
Less is more.
God, I can't even say. And some of these over-the-top stuff, it's like you're giving me too much. It's like sensory overload. Am I the only person that thinks that the Terrifier franchise made me want to go home and take a shower about 6 times after I saw them?
No, Bill, you're the guy who's going to complain that his steak is too juicy and delicious, and waiter, it's just too amazing. I can't take it all at once.
Not even close. I love a big juicy steak.
Then just enjoy it, Bill. Be with all of us and enjoy it.
Well, like I said, I'm living vicariously through you because your love for 80s horror. You didn't get to experience that like I did, so I see where you're coming from. How you're trying to rationalize this whole thing, and I get it. I agree on box office. I agree on it needs more narrative, and it needs more character development and more mythology. He's got a little bit, but not what Friday the 13th or any of those other slashers from the 80s have. Some of them in the 80s are terrible. I'm talking about the top 3 from the 80s.
Fair enough.
So let us know what you thought about this. Obviously, we have a big disagreement when it comes to Terrifier. I still like Garrett, even though he has the worst taste on the planet.
No, and I still like Bill. He doesn't remember who I am half the time, but once I put my name in there, then he knows.
Oh, Garrett's on the phone. So yeah, we're going to be doing many more of these. This is our first one, guys. So bear with us as we kind of work out the kinks and Garrett's background and lighting and all that stuff. But we're planning to get better, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing the next one. It's going to be my pick. As you can guess, the pick that we did was Garrett's, not mine. So the next one we do will be coming out hopefully in a couple weeks.
No,
we'll do it again.
No, it's been fun, and thanks for sticking around, folks. And hopefully, we'd love to hear your comments and sign up for our channel if you're just someone who loves talking horror movies and just watching 2 weird guys just talk about horror movies. Please keep on following us because we'd love to hear your discussions.
Yeah, and again, it's not just going to be horror movies too. We're going to talk about all different.
We're going to do all different topics, folks.
TV, all kinds of stuff. And we'll tell you more about us as we go, and hopefully you'll come back for more. So, without that said, thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We had a fun time yapping with Garrett.
Oh, this was great.
Terrifier. So appreciate it, Garrett. Good luck with the move.
Thank you. Thanks, buddy.
No problem, man. Well, it's been fun, brother. I appreciate it.
It's been fun, guys. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.